Well, I try to stay away from the term rivals as well. I think the reality is that in the world we're in today, both economically, diplomatically, militarily, that we're by design in competition with each other, which is a good thing. I mean, that's what fuels the global economy. That's what makes the engines turn. So the question is, for me, is how do you manage the competition between large countries, large economies, large militaries in a way that the competition is managed in a productive way rather than one that leads you down the path of destruction, which you can go down if you're naive about it. Well, a lot of things keep me up at night, mostly because of the food I ate the day before. But I would say that there's, on a scale, I would say what we're dealing with the potential North Korean issue is high on the scale. I would say that what concerns me in the South China Sea or in other areas that are dealing with these things is the potential for a miscalculation at the lower level, where it's not coordinated between governments or between military leadership, but where it just kind of happens, and then it escalates to a point where we have a situation that's unproductive. I think that if the leadership of the nations involved are thoughtful about this, we will avoid that. But the tension and the possibility for miscalculation will not go away in the near term. If you take a look at just to put it in time frame context, we've been in armistice in Korea between South and North Korea since the year before I was born. So it's been a long time. And over that time, we've seen the regime in the North, for whatever reasons, behave themselves through provocations that push the international system to the limit, and they kind of back off, and then they push it to the limit again, and they back off. And over that time, that strategy for them has produced what they would probably say is favorable results. So they're still in power. This regime doesn't appear to be, internally threatened. I mean, as far as we can see, so the lessons of that pass from son to son, and the question is whether or not those same lessons have passed on to the next leader, and whether he and the people that manage him or inform him, whether or not they have a perspective that that's still a strategy that will work in the long run. So the question is what kind of provocations, and they kind of come in different qualities with the North Koreans, either provocations against the South Koreans, which has an element of risk to it, provocations against the international system, which I would say that this missile launch, since it's a violation of the UN Security Council resolution, it would be considered by most as to be a provocation of an international body who said, hey, don't do that, and here's the reason we don't want you to do it. So I hope that they'll rethink it. I think that they continue to couch it in the terms of being a peaceful space launch, and I think the downside for us falling into that argument is, well, if you need space assets, there's other ways to get them. You don't have to do your own launch. But the missile technology that goes into space launches is a very similar missile technology that would go into longer range ballistic missiles that they are a professed nuclear nation. Should they be able to weaponize those nuclear weapons and put them on long-range missiles, now the entire security environment, global security environment, now shifts a little bit. It changes, and it makes it more dangerous and more unpredictable. There are some states that have nuclear weapons today that we feel very comfortable that the predictability of how they use them. We're not sure of how this regime would respond in the future. So our hope is that they will get the message here, and that they will could do the type of things that we were kind of hopeful. We're all hope's not a great strategy, but it's a good thing to have. We were hopeful that the new regime would have pursued the type of things they were talking about earlier, internal reforms, getting their economy going. I mean, they've got you know, half their population, I'm told, lives on about 800 calories a day. I mean, they got some work to do here to kind of get their internal systems fixed. And this activity, in my view, from a military perspective, is unnecessary.